Hello fellow YouTube dwellers, today's video topic, Verdun. I recently bought this game due to it looking quite interesting. After putting many hours into playing Battlefield 1, I was looking for a more grounded and realistic World War I shooter. Eventually, this is the game I settled on. From what I saw, it was exactly what I was looking for, and something I really liked was the ability to play offline, which I think is a really underrated feature for multiplayer games, for two big reasons. One, if the game ever stopped being supported, you could still fully enjoy it, and two, if the player count's really low, you don't have to worry about playing at peak hours only. And since the player count for this game on Steam at least is usually under 100, it's a very nice feature to have. The AI are decent, nothing groundbreaking, but you can have a fun and immersive experience with them. The AI squad leaders can even give orders and use call-ins, which is very good. Now, let's start with the main menu, since it's the first thing you'll see when booting up the game, and it is very atmospheric to say the least. With the record player going and the distant sounds of artillery with the downpouring rain, it really sets the mood. Now, since I play with bots, we will go make a custom game, where you can choose what map you want to play on with a multitude of other settings to curate the experience to your liking. The game has 9 maps that you can pick from, which each have unique weather and time of day. You can also choose how many AI and players there are and the difficulty of the AI. You can even choose what year the match takes place in and what factions are involved if you want to be extra historically accurate. Speaking of factions, they got pretty much every faction that was involved on the Western Front. You got Britain, France, America, Canada, Australia, and even Scotland. And for the Central Powers, you got Germany. Yeah, so spoiler warning, for a century-old war, they didn't win. Now that you set it up exactly how you want it, let's get in the game. So first you pick your squad. Each country has about 1 to 2 squads, except for Germany, which has 5. These can have access to different weapons like LMGs, SMGs, and shotguns. Since this is World War I, every squad has access to bolt-action rifles. Squads also have squad leaders. These can give out orders and have access to support call-ins, which can be artillery, smoke, scout planes, or something World War I is notorious for, gas. Now for the gameplay. It's your standard FPS. You can sprint, crouch, and prone. If you're playing as a squad leader, you can mark a location you want your squad to hold. One thing you'll notice is all the guns reload slowly and deliberately, which really suits the game's slower pace. The guns also feel really satisfying to shoot. Another thing with the combat is melee. Since this would still be quite common during World War I, most bolt actions will have a bayonet which can kill in one hit. While a weapon without one will do a buttstock smack or a pistol whip, which will kill in about 2 hits. There are also some loadouts that just have melee weapons, like a club for example. Another unique feature is that the LMGs cannot be used in any capacity without mounting them first. Graphically, the game looks good considering it came out in 2013 and was made by a smaller studio. The maps are very well made as they really show how devastating the front lines of World War I were. But the atmosphere is where this game really shines. The yells, gunshots, artillery strikes, and most terrifying are the screams. Hearing some unknown soldiers screaming in pain during all the chaos is really haunting. Another big part of the atmosphere are the artillery strikes and gas attacks, which were widely used in World War I. The latter of which can really affect gameplay as it forces you to put on a gas mask that affects your vision. Well, stumbling through this battlefield, you could even come across rotting corpses of not just people, but also horses, as during World War I they were still commonly used for combat and transportation. Well, that covers pretty much everything. The game doesn't have any sort of story. The closest thing is probably the historical tidbits you get during the loading screen, which is very nice to have. So if you're looking for a realistic and immersive World War I first-person shooter, I highly recommend checking this game out. Well, that's all from me. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.